gonna throw that out there.
You're really funny. Eventually we met over the summer. The situation happened to be just right for us, I think, with relationships and everything. It was just perfect. We were not in relationships, that's what I mean to say. We really met at like the most opportune time for the two of us, I think. We started to just hang out with each other. One of the first times that I really took interest with her was when we were on a date to Golden Spoon.
Okay, but he's skipping things. So.
We don't. If we tell the entire story, it would be like forever.
Pause. Can you all hear it? Can you all hear you talking?
I think so.
Pause.
Can you hear us?
I'm gonna creep ya.
Okay.
Creep back down. I'm not here.
Okay. Wait, but you have to talk about like the first. There was words we exchanged to one another. You told me that my dress was classy, and I complimented your red shoes that matched your red pants, your red shorts.
It was awesome. That was at a dating activity, and I was actually secretly really hoping that we would end up together. But I asked all these questions. I said DVD or Blu-ray, and she picked DVD, and my thing was Blu-ray. Not that it really matters all that much.
I hate change.
Anyways, she was out, and so there were my chances. So I had to wait a little bit longer. In the meantime, we were spending a lot of time together. One night we ended up staying in the church parking lot until 1 in the morning.
My phone was off. Or my phone was on silent because we had drove to Golden Spoon after Institute, right afterwards, and so I hadn't turned it back onto noises after Institute.
And so at one point, her father drives up. It's like 1 in the morning.
Yes.
Which is great.
Here,
Which was great. He was actually super chill about everything.
We were sitting on like completely opposite, like against the door sides of the car, so I don't think that he listened to anything was going down.
Because nothing was. There was no worries. We really were just talking for a very long time.
And during that talk, Travis told me that, you know, he only ever complimented girls if he was interested in them, because he didn't like to give them the wrong idea. And then, right before my dad showed up, he turns to me and he goes, "You're fun." And I thought I was friend zoned forever.
But she wasn't. I was kind of trying to confuse her a little bit. I was kind of a jerk just in that one moment, though.
Hey, Mark,
But
come here.
we ended up spending time together. I met her family, like all of them, because they were all in town. And one night we went on a walk, and we talked about a lot of things that were very personal to each of us. And I told her that I really wanted to be there for her, and she told me the same to me. And so at some point I asked her to be my girlfriend.
You were weird.
Oh, I am weird. That's how it is.
He was being all quiet, so I asked him what he was thinking.
Yeah,
And he lied to me.
it's okay. I'm sorry. It ended up well, right?
Yeah, totally worth it.
No worries. Things progressed from there. Really.
Yeah.
I don't know how much detail you want to go into.
I don't know. I'll stay with you. He needs to know. Like her.
Yeah.
I don't know. He went on a trip with me to Tucson like 2 weeks later.
That was a lot of fun. Like tons of fun.
I was really super awkward and asked him to go on a road trip with me like a week after we were dating, if that much, like the day after we were dating.
Right.
It was very soon after we were dating. And I was like, "Hey, so no pressure or anything, but I'm going on this road trip to Tucson and it would be cool if you came, but you don't have to." And I was really, it was painful.
So we went. It was Elizabeth and her friend Crystal and I. We had a really, really good time. We met up with some people that she knew from the area when her family was there serving a mission. We just had a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
Then at some point at the end of the summer, I had to go to Hawaii, so I had to leave her for like.
You're skipping the "I love you" story?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna tell this one.
You
Because
tell that
apparently it doesn't. So we had first been at the hospital. Well, we had hung out, spent all day together. He came over in the morning to help me make dinner, to to bring to Debbie in the hospital because she was having Annalise and Olivia. Well, she wasn't quite having them yet. She was just in the hospital forever before that. And so he came over before church and we went to church together. And after church, we went to Debbie's and brought her all the food. And then I think we went to your place for dessert.
Yep.
And then he dropped me off at home. And he had this habit. He'd always say, I really like you. Like a ton.
Yeah, a lot of time. Either one.
It was definitely a ton.
Okay.
And so he said that night. And I was like, you always say that, just all of the time. And I think it's so funny. He's like, well, I guess I could be more honest. I was like, well, then you should do that. And then he told me that he loved me. And I said it back. And then we kissed. And then I giggled for like
A long time.
ever.
I was like, okay, that's an interesting response.
Whatever, you thought it was adorable.
Smart. So I ended up going to Hawaii with my family. Can I go there now?
Yes, you know.
And that was some time away from her, and we had really only just started dating, and so we had spent time with family, and yet we wanted to be in contact with each other. So it was a good solid, what was it, 10 days?
Yeah, forever.
Something like that. But then she went up to school, and I came up to school afterwards, and Karina met her.
And we're like best buddies.
Yeah, we are. It's true.
It's true.
We're going to be roommates next semester?
Awesome, yeah.
And it was funny because, sorry, I'm interjecting now.
No, go for it.
That's actually one book. So I didn't know this. How many days were you here before you came? Was it like 2 or?
It was a few more than that, I think. But about that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my word, this is so awesome. Then I found out you had a book. I'm like, are you serious?
She was so upset at
We're
me.
never gonna be able to hang out. He's, I don't like it. But then, no. Valid, but, but then Travis came, and I was like, oh my word. You just ended up not taking her away from me, so
That's
thank
sucky.
you. That's true. Because y'all were like, y'all were like the same person, which was cool. Or like, I don't know, because like in the relationships I've been in, I've always said like, this isn't fun.
Totally fine.
But I noticed that was something that I knew that y'all, or that Liz was still the same girl that I met a couple days before I met Travis. And then Travis came along, she still was like the same, comfortable with her son. And I was like, they complete each other. It's so cute. So, I'm going back.
Thank you for that introduction. That was really sweet.
So we've been up at school for a while now. Lots of things have happened. Lots of things. How much do you want to go into detail about just like this semester?
I don't know.
Maybe to keep it shorter, we'll just skip to last week.
Sure.
So, last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me double check.
That would be sad.
Right? That would be really
It's
sad.
my whole ordeal. That would probably be good, but.
No, I loved your whole life.
Me too. So last week I actually asked her father for his permission or blessing.
As you found out in the conversation.
Yeah, as I found out in that conversation. And he was a very kind man, and we talked about a lot of very important things. And he ended up granting me his blessing to ask her to marry me. And so now she's like waiting. She's really happy about that.
So yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, now we're here actually. Why are we here, Elizabeth?
It's our 5-month anniversary, we're taking pictures, and we're taking pictures with Karina and Morgan because we love them, and because they're pretty. And we like to take pictures together because we look really good in pictures together. I'm sorry, that sounds really conceited, but I'm gonna be real. We look really good in
She
pictures
does.
together.
And then, you know, any man sitting next to her just looks a lot better. So,
Yeah, but there are still some very ugly pictures on Facebook of men with me.
so anyways, we're here at the library taking pictures and a little bit of video, as you can see. Just having a good time. Enjoying the time that we have together.
Before finals, when we never see each other again.
Before finals, before which I promised that I would propose to her, so it's gonna happen eventually. But so
I hate when you use words like eventually. Please, and he dies. It's
well,
like,
you need to. Wait, it's just a thing of patience. It'll happen. It'll happen in its time, and until then, we need to be patient because patience is a virtue. So I think you just need to remember that.
I know. Just not very patient.
It's okay.
It's like that quote in the album that I gave you. It's like, once you know that you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, you want the rest of your life to start right now.
I know. But I promise you, I absolutely promise you, that it will happen. It's absolutely going to happen. So, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. I love you. Anything else you want to say to the camera?
I swear I'm not a terrible person.
It's true. She's an amazing person. And
I'm not like super impatient. Waited 5 months.
yeah, it's a good one.
So
Good
patient.
amount of time.
That's another thing. This is the halfway point between when we started dating and when theoretically, possibly, we would get married.
Yeah. Love you.
Okay.
Well, we should wrap up, and I brought my laptop so we could even watch that.
Let's watch it.
Okay, let's do that. Alright. We're gonna go. See you later.
This got real awkward, real fast. What face did you just make?
Don't worry about it. I just winked at the camera. It's normal to wink at the camera.
I don't think it's like eventually. Please, and he dies. It's
Well,
like,
you need to. Wait, it's just a thing of patience. It'll happen. It'll happen in its time, and until then, we need to be patient because patience is a virtue. So I think you just need to remember that.
I know. Just not very patient.
It's okay.
It's like that quote in the album that I gave you. Once you know that you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, you want the rest of your life to start right now.
I know. But I promise you, I absolutely promise you, that it will happen. It's absolutely going to happen. So, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. I love you. Anything else you want to say to the camera? So I have something for you. I've been hiding away for too long. I love you. And I want to spend not just my life with you, but forever with you. I think it's very fitting that we're in a library because it's a place where stories are told. I think that of all the love stories that have ever been told, mine is my favorite. And I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't completely sure about it. But I know that you're going to be an amazing wife, an amazing mother. And I know that we are going to write the greatest love story in history. So, a little bit of time. Will you marry me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Let's make sure this fits.
Okay.
Do you want to pull the camera up closer?
Love you.
And I don't have work today. I gotta suck. And I'd like to take you to dinner tonight, if that's okay.
No. Yes, please.
I love you, babe.
I love you.
Thank you
For what?
for saying yes.
Duh.
Okay. Maybe go look at the picture some more?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I see that ring. So pretty.
It was my personal favorite, actually.